Wim Hof experience biggest takeaways. Breathing. Breathing. Wim Hof experience biggest takeaways. Breathing. Hi, I'm William Fuller, certified massage therapist, wellness educator, and founder of Vision Body Mind. And just a few days ago, I was here in San Francisco at the Wim Hof experience. It was an amazing time. It's definitely an experience. I 100% recommend that you go there if you get a chance, if Wim is in your city. And even if he's not in your city, it's definitely worth the trip over there. And I'm just going to go through in a couple of these videos about what my biggest takeaways are. It's been 3 years now since I've been doing the Wim Hof Method, experiencing lots of amazing benefits from it as far as being more oxygenated, better blood flow, and then also supported with being able to control the mind a little bit more, or let's say lifting mood, or being able to shift mind, especially with the cold showers. I always joke with my clients that no matter how annoyed I am at what's gone on during the day or work that I'm trying to get done, a cold shower certainly shifts that focus, and by the time I get out of that, then I'm not really thinking about it anymore. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the breathing component and how just one or two things that were a big takeaway from being there in a kind of condensed Wim Hof experience, about 5 or 6 hours. And there, Dr. Tricia Smith was presenting, who's a sports chiropractor and is an instructor of the Wim Hof Method. And she was giving a fantastic presentation, in-depth information about the Wim Hof Method and the science behind what it's doing there. And in particular with the breathing, one thing that kind of caught me off guard a little bit, I think more so because it's so linked with my own work, is this idea of getting this rib cage freely moving before we do the breathing exercise, which makes complete sense. But those of you that have signed up for the Wim Hof app or are doing any of the Wim Hof Method training courses, you'll notice that what they do when they guide you is they suggest you breathe from the lower rib cage to the mid rib cage and then up into the head there. So what she had us doing is she was guiding us through loosening all this rib cage up, which is something that I do with my clients. But one reason why I wanted to share this little bit of information with you is it's something that you could do very simply at home. You will find some stretches and other exercises at visionbodymind.com. But in particular, I'm just going to briefly go through some things that she touched on. And one was just some simple stretching, getting some length in through the tissue in the intercostal muscles, in through here, and then from my point of view also looking at these kind of larger gross muscle tissues that are responsible for restricting this rib cage down. So she had us stretching in and through the rib cage, and then also some manual manipulation, putting some pressure down onto the rib cage, doing a little bit of self-massage, but not just the front, but also the sides. Is very, very important if we're thinking about this 3D breathing that we're trying to do. A few things that I would add in there is maybe a tennis ball exercise, self-massage for the back, just to help free up the back rib cage so much. But in particular, I want to point out that it's great because you're going to get all this loose, and then it's going to help you doing your breathing. But an interesting point is, what are you going to be doing during the day when you're not doing the breathing exercises? And the reason why I say this is with my clients here in downtown San Francisco, so many of them are spending very long hours sitting in front of a computer or behind a desk. So what I find with them is when we do some work together, we get the tissue nice and loose, but then it tightens up again. So my question for you is to start thinking about what are you doing during the day that might be restricting this rib cage? What might be getting this tissue to tighten up in the first place? Now, an obvious one is short, shallow breaths. So thinking about doing the Wim Hof breathing intermittently during the day. And even if you're not doing the full three rounds, even just taking some time out, taking these slow, deep breaths. I didn't realize how slow a deeper breath I could breathe until I got in that ice bath, which was quite an experience with like 200 other people surrounded you, all in the same frame of mind. But if you think about it, if we are hunched forward like this, then you're actually compressing that rib cage down. You're shortening all this tissue here in through the front line, the superficial front line of the body, and then you're restricting all the tissue that's coming up from our neck here, like the scalings, that's responsible for elevating the rib cage. We see how we're compressing and rounding in through the rib cage here. The shoulders come round, which compresses up through the rib cage. And then the back has to tighten as a result of that, so that freezes up the back of the rib cage. And then if we're rounded down through like here, things like latissimus dorsi, serratus anterior, we've got this big constricted motion in through here, and then you're trying to do some Wim Hof breathing, but you're trying to breathe into, and actually it's something that you could try right now. If you just kind of really hyper round those shoulders down, kind of hunch down a little bit as if you're doing a crunch, and then take a slow deep breath in. And as you take that deep breath in, you'll notice how it's kind of hard, it feels kind of restricted. Now take the shoulder blades down and back, and then tuck the legs. If you're trying to tuck them down into the back pockets, you're not pushing the chest forward like this, you're just tucking the shoulder blades down. Slightly engage the core down by the navel a little bit by bringing that navel in towards the lumbar spine. Now take a slow deep breath and feel the rib cage expanding out through the front, out through the back, and in through the sides. So notice how much easier that is to take that deep breath just from being a little bit more open. Again, we're not pushing the chest forward, but just being a little bit more open. So it's great now. One thing that you can do before you do your Wim Hof breathing is to think about releasing up this rib cage. But also a thing that I want you to be thinking about is what could be causing that rib cage to tighten up in the front. And in particular, let's think about this rounding that we might be doing in front of the desk, tightening of the rectus abdominis. Those of you that are all about the Men Health front cover six-pack abs, it's even more important for you because you're actually tightening that one muscle that has got us short and tight and hunched over all the time. Okay, great. Well, I'm not going to take any more of your time. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you can take a couple of these points away from a big takeaway that I took from here. I'm going to cover a couple of other bases here and a couple of other videos, so please feel free to check that out. If you are interested in thinking about your posture a little bit more, getting a little bit more into the body, which they did actually cover in the Wim Hof Method, they called it interoceptive awareness, which is pretty cool, something I'm definitely going to take away myself and start using that a little bit more with my work. But if you're interested in building the awareness a little bit more to stop you from hunching forward, tightening all this chest up that feels so uncomfortable, then please head over to visionbodymind.com and you will find a free 5-day posture challenge for head and shoulders. And that's because this is kind of the beginning domino effect of this kind of rounding that we do. So if we can build the awareness, just like in the Wim Hof Method, where they're talking about building that better body awareness that they do in the mind session. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a different video here. But if you want to start to increase that at your desk, the first guided audio meditation is just 2.5 minutes. It's 5 days. Your challenge is, can you be aware of your posture for 5 days straight during a work day? So head over to visionbodymind.com, set yourself up for that 5 free guided mini meditations that's just going to be sent straight to your inbox, and then that's going to get you going through there. If you enjoyed the information here, please feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel for a lot more videos and information about this stuff. Please do share this through your social media components. If you think somebody else would find this useful, please feel free to send it over as well. Good luck with the rest of your day. Good luck with the rest of your Wim Hof method and breathing. 3 years now, I've pretty much done it every day. It's cheap and easy. It's something you can do yourself every day, so highly recommend. And also the Wim Hof experience, highly recommend that as well next time it comes around to you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and here's to living a healthy, active, happy life.